Alright guys, Sunday afternoon here. I'm thinking about doing a video of what we've been doing on the 6100 planter. Had a little bit of work to it this year, not a ton. We gotta re-shim the gauge wheels. This one ain't too bad. You can see it kind of moves. Need to get that back over against the disc opener there. Gonna do that. Gonna put new seed firmers on it because they're getting kind of worn out. Just kind of some general maintenance of stuff. Not a ton of stuff this year. We had to go. We put in hydro. And you can see we got a ton of crap happening on this planter. Had two types of fertilizer. Starter fertilizer. We got that pump there, and the top row there is for in furrow starter fertilizer. We do that just on a high yield corn plot we compete in every year. And then we've got this pump there, which is the 2x2 starter, which are these deals right there. Single disc opener with a gauge wheel, and then it's just got a knife there. So you can see that there on the back side, right there. Put that on 2x2, and that's what that is you don't know, it's 2 inches off the rows here, 2 inches off the row, and then also 2 inches in the ground. So do that on all our acres. Usually we run 1034-0 starter, but we haven't really ever seen a yield bump from the phosphorus. So this year, and just cheapen things up a little bit, we're going to run just straight 32%. So that's what we're going to do there. And then we also put anhydrous on at the planter. Dad started doing that back in '93. It was a wet year, and he was short on help and everything, and he needed to get it on. Didn't have anything to put on in the fall, so he rigged it up and run it every 60 inches, right or wrong. We still done yield checks and haven't really seen much of a yield difference from 60 inches versus 30-inch row nitrogen, but that's what we're doing. I had to put bearings in the coulters this year, but so we got 6 knives on the planter, and we've been doing it ever since '93. I think this is probably going to be the last year we're going to do it. We're going to go to all side dress next year. Still run the starter, but I think it's just so much of a hassle with these knives, and you can see they don't raise up very well, and it just makes a lot of weight and stress on the planter. So I think we're going to do away with it next year. Now we've got some bigger tractors and whatnot, we can side dress and get and more help and whatnot. So after 23 years doing it, Dad finally decided to hang it up. But and then you can back into the corners easier and whatnot when you're planting. But we're doing that to the planter, and we had to go along, and these coulters get loose, and sometimes the bearings go out every once in a great while, so we had to put a couple bearing sets in, and just check that stuff over. Trying to think what else there is to do. I think that was about it. Sometimes, we're reconfiguring. When we bought this planter in 2011, we had to build all this stuff for the anhydrous. Luckily, it already had all the starter and everything on it, but I had to build all the anhydrous, and that was a big year. A lot of work done to it. Excuse me. It was in here for probably a month or a month and a half working on the thing. So that's pretty much it, I think, on what we're doing to this. Hopefully finish it up, maybe finish it up tomorrow. Probably not tomorrow, it'll probably be Tuesday before I finish it up. Then we'll get the other 5100 in here. And normally we've just run this planter to plant corn with, and since we got it, and then the 5100 we would plant beans with. But we picked up some more ground this year, and to do a better job of planting, we figured we'd just run both planters in corn because we can drive slower, you get better seed spacing, and better depth control and everything. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna pull this to 4210 and pull the 5100 to 2155. 2155 has power to pull this, but with the anhydrous and everything, especially in soft dirt, it's got plenty of power. It just doesn't have the traction. Need a front wheel assist one, but that's what it is. We'll just use the 4210 when we just idle back when we run it. Last year we'd gotten a precision planning. Some of you guys heard of that. That precision planning 2020 monitors, they call it, or 2020 seed sense, and they give you a base package. They give you 3 row unit sensors, which is first off, what it'll do is it hooks into your planter monitor, and it'll count every seed that goes into the field, and you can actually go back and look where every seed was planted. It keeps a record of that in the monitor, where every seed was planted in a field. And it, it'll know if it does, and it'll keep track. It'll do if it has a skip or a double, and so you can make adjustments on that. We found for the past years and years and years we've been running way too much air pressure on these. We were having a lot of doubles, so now we've got it back the air pressure down to where we're getting probably about 98 to 99% singulation of seed, where every notch in the seed disc has got just one seed in it as it's going around and dropping. And before we were running only about 95% on that. It was running a lot of doubles, a lot of wasted seed there. So that helps out some. And then part of the, normally with the extra ground, we probably would have just run this planter, but they also got something on here, which was, we bought some extra stuff along with the monitor, which is like, I think these are like little gyroscopes in here, these row unit modules. And you don't put them on every, you can put them on every row, but if you got it on a few rows, it'll kind of give you an idea what the planter's doing. And that's for like ride control, tells you how much the unit's bouncing and whatnot. And we used to plant about 5.5, 6 mile an hour, and realized it was riding way too rough. So then we slowed her down. We were running probably about 4.5 to 5 on better ground. Hold on, I better take this. Anyway, yeah, anyway, so we're planting slower, about 4 to 4.5 mile an hour now, which just gives you a lot better seed spacing and, you know, even depth there, whatever depth you're wanting to plant at. So we did that, and then I also got these things here. You take out, I think we got 4 rows that got this on there. Just got the regular turnbuckle. You take that out, and I call these are called weigh pins. Put those in, and that measures how much downforce the unit's putting on the ground, and it can tell you whether you're putting too much. You got the spring, down pressure spring set too high, or too high where you're packing the ground more than you need to be. So that we were pretty good on. That wasn't too bad. But between the needing to slow down for the better ride and running less air pressure, I think it really paid for itself. It did good to have a lot of that extra information there to have. But so I think that wanting to slow down, I think that's pretty much why we want to run both planters, is because it just try to get better seed spacing. Trying to think what else here. I think that's pretty much it for everything we're doing to it, and why we were running the why we're going to run the 2 planters in corn. Yeah, I think we'll get this one out of here and get the other 5100 up in here, and we got to do a little bit of stuff to it, and that'll be about it for the planters. Tractors are ready to go, and we got the soil finisher. Yeah, and I think that's that's pretty much it then. I'm gonna get back to working on the John Deere then, maybe this week, maybe might be next week, I'm not sure. Wind's blowing quite a bit today, so I might go home and work on the cattle pen a little bit, I don't know, but we'll see. So anyway, well, that's what's happening at the planters, and thanks for watching.